But defiant Joe Biden says he's in the presidential race until the end. And he's striking back at members of his party who are calling on him to step aside.
You measure me what I've done. And by the way, in terms of my neurological capacity, I had a physical, a neurological physical as well in February. It's released. I released all my records, all of them.
At least half a dozen House Democrats have publicly called for Biden to end his re-election bid. And more than a dozen current and former top Democrats have raised concerns about the president's fitness to serve in the office.
Biden is old. He's not as articulate as he once was. I wish he could jump up the steps on Air Force One. He can't. What we have got to focus on is policy. Whose policies have and will benefit the vast majority of the people in this country.
It's a crucial week for the president. On Tuesday, House and Senate Democrats are expected to hold meetings that could determine just how much support the president has on Capitol Hill. Democrats are reportedly favoring two possible options: pushing President Biden aside using private intervention. It's a tactic not seen since 1974 when Richard Nixon was president. Or Democrats could choose the nuclear option, calling for Biden to step aside with a public statement. For now, Biden remains on the offense, reaching out to members of Congress. He's already called dozens by phone, and this week will call dozens more, warning them to abandon him now could propel former President Donald Trump back into the White House. Kimberly, Halkett, Al Jazeera, the White House.
Well, more questions are being raised about President Biden's health. That's after US media reports that a Parkinson's disease specialist visited the White House 8 times over the past year. That's prompted Biden's doctor to release a statement saying the president only saw a neurologist as part of a regular annual physical exam. Heidi Zhou-Castro has more from Washington, D.C.
Under intense pressure from the press, the White House has now reversed course after initially refusing to answer questions about why a nation's leading Parkinson's disease expert had visited the White House 8 times in the past year. Now, in a late letter from Biden's personal physician, we've learned that this disease expert was there to host a neurological clinic for staffers at the White House, but that he indeed was, in fact, the neurologist who also gave the president the neurological exams 3 times as part of the president's standard annual physicals. In this letter from the president's personal doctor, he was clear in saying that after these minute and detailed examination of the president's neurological state, there was no concern for disease, and that this last physical, which was given to Biden in February, showed that he was in a relatively clean bill of health and fit to serve in the office. However, that was several months ago. February was the last time the president was examined. He has said he has not gone any cognitive exam since, and people are still concerned about his fitness for office currently after what some would say seeing him deteriorate before their very eyes in these past few months. And the White House and the Biden campaign having already undertaken heated criticism after Biden's terrible debate performance a week ago, and not putting the president forward to show him with more vigor more immediately. Now the White House apparently reversing course, trying to be more transparent in quelling fears about Biden's fitness for office. Heidi Zhou-Castro, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.